Very good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me, particularly post lunch. Post lunch sessions have some routines. First thing is that audience ते थोडे समाधानी होऊन बसलेले असतात. benefit असतो. And second is that there are always some challenges for the speakers. Because it is the instability which generates curiosity, and the samadhan and stability generates some complacency. So it's always a challenge for the speaker to create curiosity and some excitement. So that is why I love sessions post lunch. Today I am trying to synthesize few things. If I look at my career itself, and when I took VRS last year April, and I was in man in search of meaning sort of thing. I was asking one question to myself: what for organization have paid me? And I was not getting the correct answer for the same, though I was nicely paid, but still then that answer was missing. And in 6 months of self introspection, something that came into my mind is that probably I'm good at synthesis, and people are waiting for synthesizing the things. And from that point onward, I started the synthesis aspect of my career. So today also I'm going to try to synthesize few things. One is higher educational institutions. Second aspect is the teaching technologies. And third aspect is the grand challenges of engineering. If these three can converge or find out some meeting points, there the opportunity for research gets into the picture. And research for the sake of research may not be the intention particularly of NEP. If you look at critically the NEP, it triggers the employability, socially useful output, socially useful research, IPR and innovation. So research and earning, all these things are the focal areas. And another aspect is that multi-faculty universities. So for any new innovation now, one faculty innovation is not going to be sufficient. They have to synthesize, integrate, and collaborate with other faculties. So keeping that core into mind, I'll put forward before you some thoughts. These are the triplets of the society, which represent the ecosystem, typically workers and employees. So that is the typical industrial aspect of the society. Second is educational institute students and educational institutes. And third is citizen and government. These are the triplets. I'll talk about few triplets and their impact. Then these are the triplets of conventional university, because NEP is an attempt to break the conventional approach towards education. So students, scholars, and subjects. These are the triplets of conventional university system. Then triplets of change. From this point onward, things will become more and more interesting. The technology, market, and mother nature. These are the triplets of change, and their speed of change is making the difference. This is what I need to say. We are in the second half of the chessboard, where successive doubling is creating big impact on us. Be it technology, be it market, or be it mother nature. Arabian Sea, we never saw so many cyclones. If you exclude last 3 years, before that, Shant Samudra ke naam se jaane jaane wala samudra. Now, so many cyclones, and the frequency is on higher side. So it means what? The mother nature is changing very fast. Market is changing very fast. Previously, where we used to be in business, we used to call माझं तसं नाही आपण टोकन वाटतंय तर या साईडला पण उभं राहिलं मूवीज कोणाला तरी the market I'm talking about is that in the business we used to talk about the stickiness index. How long a customer sticks to your product. Now, if you look at the current scenario, that stickiness index is no longer there. आप अपने सामने की दुकान में भी जाते हो, वहां पर रेट देखते हो, Amazon में देखते हो, Flipkart में देखते हो, and wherever it is cheaper, and some coupons are applied, there you go. So it means what there is no stickiness. So the market is changing so fast that you have to keep on adapting yourself. And this is one more trend which was I was talking about. And we are in the second half of the chessboard. So successive doubling, lilies in the pond, what we call it as. So, and इसका जिक्र अगर आपको याद होगा, संभाजी राजे की एक सीरियल आई थी टीवी पे, and he won the chase with the king, and then king said that fine, whatever reward you want, you tell us, I'll offer you. And he said कि पहले खाने में अनाज का एक दाना, दूसरे में दो, उसके बाद चार, आधा चेस बोर्ड होते होते खजाना खाली होने की नौबत. So that is the effect of successive doubling, what we call it. That is the second half of the chess board. So that makes our job pretty challenging. Changes are taking place in education also, and sitting in the education, we must, honestly and critically, both ways, try to see that. This was the classical university model visualized by former Harvard president Charles Eliot. Discovery, memory, and mentoring. These are the three aspects generally university or any higher education system takes care of. Discovery means discovery of new knowledge that was happening, right? Then memory. Actually, this memory means institutional memory. All collectively create some knowledge. It is arranged in a particular order so that its retrieval becomes simple, and the next generation of learners, they find the learning process simple. So that is what was the purpose of libraries, and professors and their notes used to carry a lot of importance. And third aspect was mentoring, understanding the new things of life through personal interaction and spending time with the professors beyond the syllabus, with the masters. So guide and mentor. So these were the three typical roles and higher education institutions were visualized for a pretty long time. But do you feel that it's valid today also or not? I'd like to take your take on that. Or there is some change. क्या लगता है? ये अभी भी है और उसी इंपॉर्टेंस के साथ है या इसका इंपॉर्टेंस बदल गया है? And quote it, then you will realize something has changed, and not only changed but predominantly. When it comes to discovery, most of the R&D and research is happening in the R&D labs. Very few in educational institutions. So it means that model of discovery, the discovery component has already been taken care of by somebody else, either R&D institutes or R&D organizations or industries, all those things. Similarly, when it comes to memory, जिसके बाद क्या पढ़ना है, क्या समझ में आना चाहिए. This was a typical strength of a teacher, and the syllabus or the curriculum. Curriculum design was a very fundamental aspect. क्या कब पढ़ना है, किसके बाद पढ़ना है. That is what is curriculum is. But now, if you listen anything on TikTok or YouTube, what you should read or listen next is automatically shown to you. So that arranging the things in the order you can find it learning simple is taken care of by Google, TikTok, online courses, and chat GPT. How many of you have tried chat GPT? What was the first sentence you wrote in chat GPT and what was the response?
Very good response.
What about So, that if you regenerate different answers, they, with different language, they will come. What does it mean? Teacher भी जब students को जो extraordinary student होता है उसको बताने का तरीका अलग होता है. जो थोड़ा less interested होते हैं उनमें interest करने के लिए कुछ और ही लगता है. And those who are on the fences, for them different. So this aspect is also taken care of by to some extent or the other by technology. Now what is left for us is mentoring, which is very critical. And the second aspect is that very I was part of education. I was faculty in few engineering colleges for 15 years. So with lot of due regard and respect, I understand the limitations of teaching faculty. So unfortunately, society is solving the problem created by education system. Whereas education system was supposed to solve the problem of the society. Now, if you look at the NEP, very clear mention of this aspect is there. Solving the problems of the society, industry, and community. So that is one aspect still left for the education institution. So in view of new education policy and in view of the change triplets, it is very essential that we as a higher education institute should change the approach, should redefine the university ecosystem, which was conventionally defined something different. This is also a triplet of classical university, students, scholars, and subjects. Are they still valid or there is some change? पहले वाले में change हो गया तो आप बोलोगे कि yes, there must be some change also. What change do you visualize here? Students are there in the campus, not in the classroom. That is one change. Campus means the other attractions are there. Students are enrolled but not in the campus, or if they are in the campus, they are somewhere else. Scholars are now available online at many places such as TikTok, YouTube, and various online courses. So there is no pull for to come here in that case. Online मिल रहा है फिर यहाँ क्यों आए? और अभी भी स्टूडेंट हम्बल है इसलिए ठीक है, नहीं तो वो क्लास में ये भी कह सकते हैं कि this I can find out on Google and chat GPT. What beyond that you want to tell, please tell. Otherwise, you are free and I am free. That situation is, going to come. Might have come because I am away from, fortunately, I am away from teaching, so I may not be having those burns and hits. But it is a knee-jerk reaction. You try to understand. So this is also happening. And subject. There is a marketplace for each subject. So the system, university system for what it was created is no longer, somehow is no longer getting valid. So we as a teaching fraternity, we as a society, we from blaming industry or building education is still not sufficient. We have to synergize ourselves and try to find out some solutions. And that is what is going to be the purpose of today's our interaction. This is what I mean. On one side, technology tipping points are there, which are going to tipping points means they are going to mature and then be used in masses. And there are grand engineering challenges as well. Most of the why I said engineering challenges, engineering doesn't mean that engineering only. Solution driven approach is to be considered as engineering, to be very precise. And higher education institute can find the common areas between. Because a lot of research is going on. Teachers are doing research. Plus, young and ignited mind is available with you only. बाकी जैसे हमारा जंग लग गया काफी इसका जंग उतारना बहुत मुश्किल होता है but those minds are very uncorrupt. They're pretty innovative. They don't afraid of asking tough questions. So, higher education institutions are now in a position to exploit these two. And if at all we want to exploit through higher education institution, what we have to meticulously observe is that we create a startup culture or ecosystem in the organization. Because unless we start paying back, interest only in publication will not suffice today's requirement. Earning beyond the fees is going to make the system sustainable, the teacher innovative, teachers sustainable, and education also sustainable. So, what is essential for all of us is that look for the opportunities of creating startup, creating some innovation, creating some enterprise, taking some entrepreneurial initiatives. My journey has been absolutely reverse. I started entrepreneurship at the very end of my career. It has been almost, wherever that fate and has appeared, I have made such decisions. I left government job at the age of 45. So that was a very typical point. Very few people leave that job at 45 because that's the thing. 50 साल 55 साल कर लेते हैं, pension मिलना शुरू हो जाए, फिर छोड़ने कुछ छूटता नहीं. Similarly, starting entrepreneurial initiative at the age of 57. Again, it was just, you can call that tipping points. So tipping point has the advantage. So we have to learn to exploit this as an educational ecosystem. Teacher अकेले की बात नहीं आती. Teacher, industry जिनके साथ हमारा connect है, innovation center, startups, and young minds which are readily available to you, and nobody else. I'll highlight some of the tipping points of the technologies. The 21 technology tipping points we will reach by 2030. And you see, the education institutes have long life. Long life. So 2030 is very close by. So unless we identify these areas and create some system where students start innovating in these areas, exploiting these technologies, because they don't have fear of failures. We have a lot of fear of failures. Students have very little fear of failure. So they can exploit that. Let it fail, fine. I'm happy. Wednesday का lecture आपने भी देखा होगा. उसमें एक hacker what he said, I am dropped out by choice. If you could recollect that. So हमारे आपके जनरेशन में शायद ये सेंटेंस बोलने की किसी की हिम्मत नहीं. I am dropped out by choice. And you see, most of the innovation that we see is done by dropout by choice people. And it is run by hard worker IITs. See that. हमारे यहाँ से मार के IIT करके कंपनी चलाते हैं, बोलते हैं. तो if हम कंप्लेंट कर सकते हैं कि भाई हमारे यहाँ तो अब मेरे के हिसाब से बड़े नीचे से आते हैं, नीचे से तीसरे नंबर पे चौथे नंबर पे. But the world is of people are drop out by choice, तो आपके पास तो फिर भी अच्छे हैं. It's a question of triggering that, showing them tipping points, and that's it. This is happening. But the question is how we at Educational Institute exploit it. For any research, earlier we used to require, processor, computer, charging, crores of investment. Is it required today? If you require tremendous processing power for 10 minutes, 1000 GB process, no problem. 1000 rupees, fine. So this way you can exploit it. I shared the other day an example of what we did in NKCL. If you recollect, the sphere Barbie result लगते हैं, and most of the time, other than NKCL, all sites get crashed in the first 30 seconds. They hire big size servers and put most of the thing in cache, and then IOs. और इतने IOs आने के बाद वो crash होना ही है. What we do, we hire RAM, then the servers, and put everything in the RAM. There is no IO. And we require those many high capacity RAMs for just 5 minutes. उसके चार्जेस सर्वर से भी कम पड़ते हैं, 1000 या 500 रुपए में उतने देर के लिए, 2 मिनट के लिए 5 मिनट के लिए आपको रैम किराए पे मिलेगी. So if that is how you have to exploit the tipping point technologies. Cloud. Do we think in this fashion, or we want bigger and bigger cloud? So brainware plus hardware is constant. अगर आपने ब्रेनवेयर ज्यादा इस्तेमाल किया तो हार्डवेयर कम लगेगा, ब्रेनवेयर कम इस्तेमाल किया तो हार्डवेयर ज्यादा लगेगा. पहले ये दिक्कत थी कि उतना बड़ा हार्डवेयर हायर करना मुश्किल होता था, तो you used to get stuck up. But here, so with this perspective, if you look at this big technology, there is not a opportunity for startup research, everything. So if for such a specialized job, हमारे यहाँ तो उसने फार्मेसी किया होना चाहिए था, उसको दुकान के काउंटर पे बैठने देते हैं. It's taken care of. So means anything memory based repetitive in nature is going to be taken care of by automation system only. So let us try to identify what is the repetitive in nature through our students, because the student is one community which hate the repetitives. So they are the best resource for you to identify the repetitive task and automate it. That is where the business is. That is where the innovation is. That is where the startup is. That is where the R&D is. So many sensors. In Horse Cabin, we were talking with Dr. He said that we are trying to reach the grassroots level agriculture problem. There is one mission statement of agriculture scientists: more crop per drop. So how it is possible? Only through sensors and internet. If you can sense the exact requirement, then that type of fertilizer, that water, everything, point of time, point of place, and quantity can be added. Weather forecast, so many things are there. If we talk about the education, we can repurpose this statement a little bit more. More learning and transformation per click, per touch. Every click information is available. It is the teacher touch which is required to transform it into learning. It is not just information, the touch component. So that is where we have to. So technology innovation अपने यहाँ भी होंगे, बाहर भी होंगे, but the touch component only teacher can play. So what is the empathy aspect that has to be brought in? And empathy comes only when you realize the problem. When you feel the problem, then only empathy. So you have to be more empathetic. बिजनेस वाले किसी चीज को क्यों जल्दी महसूस करते हैं? हर चीज पेट से समझना, दिल से समझना, दिमाग से समझना और पेट से समझना. Difference. Why business change so frequently? Because they learn from stomach. डायरेक्ट इफेक्ट पेट पर होता है, दिल पे दिमाग के बात की बात है, पेट भरा रहेगा उसके बाद दिमाग का इस्तेमाल और फिर जरूरत पड़ी तो दिल। So we have to understand that is what is empathizing. The situation के साथ empathize करें, problem के साथ empathize करें. There is a lot of opportunities for us to innovate. So this is the sensor work. I talked about touch component. Dr. Agrawal from IIM Ahmedabad, he defines the empathy in a very simple Hindi language. दिखता है और दुखता है, तभी जहां जहां आपको दिख रहा है और दुख रहा है वहीं में स्टार्टअप की अपॉर्चुनिटी, क्योंकि हर कोई अपना दुख दूर करने के लिए, दर्द दूर करने के लिए आपके पास आएगा। देयर इज इनोवेशन अपॉर्चुनिटी। हमारे घर में किसी का हेलमेट पहनने न पहनने की वजह से सिर फूटता है तो सारा घर हेलमेट पहनता, और अखबार में दुनिया भर की एडवर्टाइजमेंट आती है हेलमेट पहनो हेलमेट पहनो। वी डू नॉट एम्पैथाइज। ये दिखता है लेकिन दुखता नहीं, मेरा नहीं सिर फूटा तो नहीं फूटेगा। सो वी हैव टू बी एज अ टीचर, स्टूडेंट को क्यों समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, द मोर वी एम्पैथाइज वी विल फाइंड सम बिजनेस। सो सेंसर, the electronic sensor and our empathy sensor, these two have to synthesize. If at all we have to create the right type of ecosystem for research, innovation and startup. This is all known. So clothes are going to be sensor based. So आपके बारे में अभी, have you read Homo Deus? Yuval Noah Harari की किताब है Homo Deus. Anyone of you have read? उसमें एक जिक्र आता है, I'll share with you, and then you can understand the younger generation problem also. It is in a very lighter way because problems are very different. What it imagine is that in due course of time, Google and Facebook and Insta will have enough of data about you, and they can read and interpret your business. Suppose a guy is, is dating with 3 different girls. One is very beautiful, another is reasonably good, and third is intelligent, whatever you call. And whenever he meets, अभी तो आज क्या है, खाना भी होटल में जाते हैं तो खाने से पहले फोटो खींच के अपलोड करते हैं, फिर निवाला मुंह में जाना. So it means the reactions immediately comes on the social media. So Google will tell the fellow, though you are planning to marry with that beautiful girl, but what I have observed through data analytics on Instagram, Facebook, and my own searches, that whenever you meet her, after that you are not in best of your mood. Whereas the moderate girl, which you think that you nahi karna chahiye, whenever you meet her and you come back, your reactions are quite live in nature. So I recommend you better about So what I mean to say कि देखिए problem कितने बदल गए हैं और solution कितने बदल गए. सवाल ये है कि as a teacher मैं इसको इस ढंग से देख रहा हूँ कि नहीं. And I personally get connected with this problem more because अभी मेरे 2 बच्चे शादी के थे. एक थे बोला क्योंकि एक ही हो गई और दूसरे की हो नहीं. Then I realized that these problems are bigger problem. And ये problem identify करने की वजह से अनुरूप is a business model. So लड़की अच्छी नहीं मिल रही है, पसंद की नहीं मिल रही है, माँ बाप मिलाएंगे, पहली बार मिलाएंगे, दूसरी बार पुनः क्या बेटा ऐसा लग्न करना है कि छोड़ देंगे. लेकिन वो अनुरूप कहता है ठीक है 4-5 बार मिल लो, मुझे कोई एतराज नहीं. See the compatibility. Physics माँ बाप ने देख ली, chemistry आप देख लो. Because it is the chemistry that works. So I am giving these type of problems, why? Because we neglect, when it comes to engineering, we feel that very, पता नहीं फ्यूजन का प्रॉब्लम मेरे लिए रखा हुआ है, बाकी सब प्रॉब्लम किसी और ने सॉल्व करे. It's not like that. These are the problems of our younger generation, and educational institute have solution for that. Because आपके पास है, जिनके प्रॉब्लम है जो सॉल्व करने वाले. और when it comes to technology, it is also there. Then where the problem lies? It's a question of changing the mindset. The moment you get into the R&D and startup mindset, you will love to find problems. Right now, we hate to see the problems. So distributed manufacturing is a huge opportunity. Are we planning to have such type of innovation in our institute? Finding out students who are interested in that. This is also the case. Mobile शरीर से बाहर है तब इतना डेटा कैप्चर कर रहे हैं. You just imagine. It's not part of our ज्ञान. वो अगर बदन पे चिपक गया तो कितनी रिसर्च की और बिजनेस की अपॉर्चुनिटी. Just try to imagine. Let us be very imaginative. You know, ये सब जो है इसको चैलेंज करने की बात नहीं. You have to write on these waves. If you challenge them, then you are going. Write on these. So, census physically जाने की जरूरत नहीं because almost everybody is connected through the handset. Then the data is getting created and there is lot of opportunity to cross verify. वहाँ पर जो पूछने आता है census का डाटा उसके कोई वेरिफिकेशन वगैरह कुछ ठीक है पढ़े लिखे माँ बाप क्या भेज दिए उसके बाद पूछता है कि आपकी पीएचडी की डिग्री देखने की और क्या कुछ भी नहीं. It is very less verified data than as compared to this data, which is, there is quite contradiction अलग निकाल के filtering करके data निकाला जा सकता है. That is what AI does. Outliers बाहर निकालते जाते हैं, इससे effect होता है वो निकालते जाते हैं. So these are some of the opportunities. Are we ready for those type of technology exploitation? Is the question. Google glasses. Forget about the Google glasses. Let us take the data. You are reading the book or book is reading you? You tell me. When you are reading Kindle, are you reading the book or Kindle is reading you? Kindle is reading you. Then the book. You are reading. आपने कौन से वर्ड्स जो है डिफिकल्ट है उसको डिक्शनरी देखी, कौन सा पोर्शन हाईलाइट किया, कौन सा पोर्शन ज्यादा देर पढ़ा, ये पढ़ने के बाद दूसरी किताब ये पढ़ते पढ़ते कहाँ जाके रुक गए और थक गए. So this data is getting created and on that basis recommendations happen. So it means what? When the lenses are not there, if the glasses comes, how much opportunities are going to be there. So we have to see the challenges, and the moment we see the challenges, there is a lot of startup and innovation. Now, next time you are going to read the book, don't recall this. Enjoy your book. फायदा ये है कि otherwise आपको एक अच्छी किताब पढ़ने के लिए 10 लोगों के recommendations लगते थे और physical cost होती थी. Now, if you subscribe for 159 or 169 rupees in unlimited, all golden books are there, and auto recommendation based on your test is coming. So this helps you. If you exploit it correctly, it will help you to develop the specialization and neo-generalism both. Because वो चीजें पढ़ते पढ़ते आप specialize होंगे. Cross search करने जाएंगे तो then after specialization area opens up, so you become neo-generalist. You have specialization in X field for 7 years. Thereafter you migrate to another field. So you are neo-generalist. You are a better synthesizer of 3 technologies, 3 innovations. As I said, I realize that I am good at synthesizer. BE mechanical, production and industrial engineering, PG, postgraduate in industrial engineering, PhD in applied robotics, teaching, administration, business development, and software development. So these were my various specializations, and today I become a newer generalist who can synthesize these verticals. और ये opportunity teaching profession में हमारे पास सबसे ज़्यादा है, because sense of urgency, pressure of time is less in teaching as compared to in business. So that cushion, give you more opportunity to innovate, research, create startups. This we are realizing also. So, if everything is digital, how and what we are going to do in that space is going to be a. अब ये कुछ हद तक इसमें आ गया है, ये आपका इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न भरने के बाद कितने जल्दी आपको पैसा रिफंड आ जाता है, पहले तो ऑनलाइन लगानी पड़ती थी बिकॉज़ दे आइडेंटिफाई थ्रू बिग डेटा एनालिटिक्स ये जो है ये ऑनेस्ट टैक्स पेयर है ये नहीं, इतनी आसानी से रेट मारना अभी क्यों आसान हो गया, तो वो पैटर्न ही है कि बताता है कि ये आउटलायर्स है, पहले इनको देखो, ये छोड़ दो। करोड़ों का किस्सा मालूम, कितने करोड़ थे, अच्छा नाम बता। हाँ, एक दुर्योधन, दूसरा दुशासन, ये आउटलायर्स सारी शक्ति ये दोनों ठिकाने में लगाने। 80 जो लोग 98 करोड़ वो सिस्टम देते थे तो चेक करते थे, इसीलिए उनका नाम नहीं आया। So big data analytics and this, they are easily identifying the outliers. वो बदमाश है, पता लगता है आसान निकल जाता है, कुछ ताकत लग गई प्रश्न की, और उनको निपटाते प्रकृति याद नहीं करती। That is the example, So what I mean to say, why I am giving you such examples so that you must realize that it is as simple as that. We can do a lot of research in this area, provided we empathize with the problem. This we are realizing and people are exploiting it also. Whether educational institutes are exploiting it or not is a question. Still, many educational institutions, there are notice board mobiles are not allowed in the classroom. What does it mean? We are denying this megatrend. How long you can? He will not switch off mobile, he will switch off teacher. So instead of asking him to switch off mobile, which is not going to be possible, you try to get connected with that fellow. And the moment you get connected, he will get disconnected with the mobile. It is we are unable to get connected, he is connected with some other device. अब आपको पता है कि आपका लड़का या लड़की हेडफोन लगा के बैठी रहती है, तो ये रेजे वाला बोलने में क्या मतलब, सुनाई नहीं देने वाला, फोन लगाओ, ये वाला ये आ जाए, व्हाट्सएप आ जाए, चिल्लाते रहो कि लगा खराब होगा खाना। There is you empathize with the problem. अरे उसके कान अवेलेबल कोई इंस्टॉल करने जा रहा है, स्मार्ट फोन। That is what is happening with us, all of us. I am going through these videos, so I can very easily, share my mistakes with you. So it's a question of, accept it. Let's not challenge it. So then we have a lot of opportunities. अभी भी कहीं पर अगर इंटरनेट ब्लॉक कर देते तो कितना हल्ला होगा, कोई भी सोसाइटी में इंटरनेट बंद हो जाता है तो फटाफट न लगा आने वाले 15 मिनट मैसेज दिया, इंटरनेट गया तो व्हाट्सएप, is it hardware working, is data working, what does it mean? So it is, so once it is there, let us utilize it. So if we talk about our hands, it's not the physical aspect. A lot of aspects are getting into the picture here. Philosophy is going to be there, manufacturing method is going to be there, software is going to be there, testing is going to be there. So many strengths are going to be converged before we create any organ. So the multidisciplinary approach has to be there. We have to break the boundaries, and only startup can break the boundaries. Because startup की जरूरत है, उसको खड़े होना है, respect से चलता है startup. So that they are going to force you to come together. अगर आप नहीं जाओगे तो वो आएगा, सर वो मेरा कंप्यूटर का प्रॉब्लम है, तो सर ये गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं, सर ये सॉफ्टवेयर ठीक से नहीं काम कर रहा है, they are going to bring, they are going to create, integration among them. So that is why identify the problem, create a startup. You will find an integrator there itself.
Yes, yes, yes. It's,
We have some time. Half an hour is there.
it's,
3:30.
proper. You can extend it.
I can, but it is second day, second session. तो अभी हम लोग स्मार्ट सिटी स्मार्ट सिग्नल्स की बात करते हैं दे हैव टू कम अभी भी हम लोग सिग्नल बढ़ाओ पुणे में तो सिग्नल और स्पीड ब्रेकर चलना गुनाह है ऐसी परिस्थिति है आज तक so that is a problem if you empathize with the problem you have a solution in the smart city लोग अच्छे से गाड़ी नहीं चला रहे हैं इसलिए स्पीड ब्रेकर लगा रहे हैं सिग्नल लगा रहे हैं लेकिन गाड़ी चलने के लिए स्पीड ब्रेकर और सिग्नल लगा रहे हैं तो जिसके लिए बनाई थी गाड़ी वही काम कर तो we have not empathize with the problem we are criticizing it going for a council this is going to happen whether we have 3D setup 3D printing setup and to what extent whether it is open to all students let them bear some cost. If we create that type of open culture, then only the necessary startup innovation culture will happen. The other day in the previous seminar, I shared my personal experience with you if you are aware of that. You know, I was a student at IIT Roorkee in MA and I was doing my MA dissertation on CAD-CAM robotics, FMS students. For 3-4 days, I used to continuously go to the lab and used to sit late in the evening. After 3-4 days, the lab assistant came to me. He said, "Are you going to work like this?" Yes. Dissertation की बात है, जिन्हें मरने का सवाल है, डिग्री नहीं मिलेगी. I am going to work like this only. I have these keys. अगर किसी और को जरूरत पड़ी तो इसने प्रिंट आउट निकाल के दिखाया ये देखिए. If you want to work in the lab and not find key, contact room number so and so, falana so and so. So that much of the faith, 1 crore का FMS यूनिट को चाबी देके चला. So if we develop such empathy with our students, ठीक है, ये काम करेगा. 3D प्रिंटर ला लेकिन हम लोगों को जब पहली बार सर आप बता रहे थे ना कि कंप्यूटर आपकी ब्रांच है और बहुत दिनों बाद वो छोटे-मोटे कंप्यूटर थे. When we were in engineering, तो हमारे यहाँ पे एक कंप्यूटर आया. 3 दरवाजे, AC. मंदिर में जितने जूते चप्पल नहीं उतारने पड़े उतने वहां चप्पल जूते उतारो और क्या दिखाया तो उन्होंने अंदर आओ पहले जूते उतारो शांत रहो अब मुझे उतारो अब 3 लोग अंदर जाओ ये बटन दबाओ दिख रहा है क्या होता है हमने बटन दबाया चलो क्या करूं तो कंप्यूटर सीख ही नहीं पाए ये बुढ़ापे में सीखना पड़ा था अगर उस वक्त करते थे तो बाद में कुछ और करते थे सो ये जो है ऐसे ही अगर वो 3D प्रिंटर लिए थे 3D प्रिंटर दबाए ये तो प्लास्टिक जैसा नहीं बनेगा बल्कि आप निकल जाओ अगर ऐसे करेंगे तो 3D प्रिंटिंग नहीं होगी. This is a tipping point technology. We have to understand that it is the future lying here. That is why I quoted that example. But the more you give faith, gathering में आप क्या करते हो? Security का इंचार्ज किसको होना चाहिए सबसे बदमाश है. पराजय की बात पूरा गैदरिंग पूर्ण निकल. कितनी बात है? यहाँ पर भी कोई करना होगा और क्या वहाँ हमारी सेफ्टी है कि इसलिए उनको दे देते हैं यहाँ हमारी सेफ्टी भी है तो नहीं दे रहे we have to change the mindset also we have to adopt this you know I don't know how many of you have read the book Whole New Mind नाम की किताब its reference will come in my last slides. Wherein, you know, anything analytical in nature is taken care of by artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, left brain is taken care of by computer. It is the right brain that we need to apply. A bigger picture देखना. is going to be human capabilities, is going to be the teacher's capabilities. Analysis component, the younger generation and computer will do. You have to create a canvas. You have to be a painter, not a chemist, not a paperman. We are becoming teacher of subject, we are to become teacher of students. When we become a painter, we become teacher of students. As long as we become teacher of subjects, subjects connect to students. So that is the basic difference this startup culture is going to bring. And this I have realized, strongly while working with younger generation. In software industry, I was there for 15 years. मेरे नेक्स्ट कमांड को मैं 15 साल, उसके पीछे 20 साल, इतना ज्यादा इसका डिफरेंस था. So I used to get a lot of opportunities to learn from them. My standard operating procedure was till 5:30 various meetings whenever I was in office, and after 5:30 I used to roam around and sit with the developers, what they are doing, what they are learning, what they are facing challenges. And that is what gave me to see a bigger picture of the software. And that is how I could lead, being a mechanical engineer, not written a single line code, other than for strategic justification and expert system for my PhD to develop. And you'll be surprised, most of the acquisition that Maharashtra, Gujarat, and some other state did, those software were written by my team. Most of the universities, those are running on the computers and websites, they are developed by us. And I was now completely right. What I could see is that I could see a bigger picture. I was a teacher, I was a controller of examination, I was a student, so I could empathize with the problem of three and pose the problem, right problem to the developers and business analysts and visualizers, they used to create software. So as a teacher, this is the role we have to find out for ourselves. So if we are living in the shared economy, what are the business opportunities in the shared economy? What are the innovation opportunities in the shared economy? Are we sharing our labs? Are we sharing our resources? Are we sharing our rooms? What we are doing? So it's a just symbolic example of shared economy, but Airbnb, complete shared economy. बाकी उसके बाद जितने आए वो सब टेक्निकल इनोवेशंस, बेटर एक्सपीरियंस है. अभी आप आज होटल में जाते हो, आप तो काहे के लिए जाते हो? खाने के लिए जाते हो कि ईटिंग एक्सपीरियंस के लिए जाते हो? ईटिंग एक्सपीरियंस. तो गया जमाना जब आप होटल में खाने के लिए जाते हो, बेस्ड होटल सब क्या है? दे आर प्रोवाइडिंग एक्सपीरियंस. खाना आप घर में भी खा रहे हैं, यहाँ भी खा रहे हैं, सिर्फ पकाने नहीं पड़ रहा है. ये डिफरेंस के लिए थोड़ी आ रहे हैं. If you want to earn more, give them experience. फलाना लाइट, ठिकाना लाइट, ये वो, पूल साइड, फलाना, कितने सारी चीजें, थीम क्या क्या नहीं. So this is the beauty of shared economy, and that is how we have to learn to translate that into educational ecosystem. Travelers का, अभी टीचरलेस क्लासरूम के आने के तरफ कितना टाइम लगेगा? नहीं आते. अभी आपने देखा भी होगा, इंडस इंटरनेशनल स्कूल बैंगलोर, फर्स्ट robot teacher is there teaching physics, chemistry and maths, and physical teacher is also there. When the interview was taken of that CEO of that school, he said that कि जो कुछ गूगल बता सकता है वो रोबोट बताता है, काफी टीचर बताता है. So we have to robot, collaborate with the robot, collaborate with the technology. Are we doing that? Collaborate with the young minds. Then new education policy is very simple to implement. Else, it will be Indian Constitution. Best of the Constitution and worst of the powers. So it is up to us to decide. आप सिक्किम में जाओ या नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जाओ, कोई भी लेन नहीं होगा. क्योंकि एक भी इधर से इधर गाड़ी आ गई तो कितने घंटे रुकेंगे और लाइफ कितनी खराब होगी उनको पता है। और अपने यहाँ एक भी बंदा नहीं को चलना पसंद कर, एवरीबडी इज इन हरी एंड एवरीबडी गेट लेट। So a little bit damage. But driverless car is a symbolic example. What I mean to say is that through such type of technologies, its implications are bound to be there in the society as well as on the educational institution and business ecosystem also. अभी भी big data analytics के through सब report लेके ही आते हैं पूरा practice, so it is going to happen. This is one big opportunity in itself. Can we create such smart systems where read and create? Population तो ऐसे ही बढ़ेगी, गाड़ियां ऐसे ही बढ़ने वाली हैं. We have to. What is going to be the impact of these tipping point technologies? अभी गार्टनर का एक रिपोर्ट आया 2030 का. So these are the tipping technologies which we discussed and impact radar 2023. Whether its impact going to be on master slow, medium, high, very high. कितने रेंज कितने टाइम में मैच्योर होने वाली है. It gives you a guideline to plan your research, plan your curriculum. जब हमें दिख रहा है ये 1 से 3 साल में मैच्योर, तो ये डिग्री के कोर्स में आने चाहिए क्योंकि 3 साल बाद पास होगा तो ये आने वाला है. उसके बाद के बैच के लिए आपको ये प्लान कर लेना और उसके बाद के बैच. So these are not reports for businessman itself, but for educationists also. My request to you is that you try to subscribe for McKinsey and Gartner reports free of cost, but they give you a bigger picture. Ultimately, we as a teacher are there to see a bigger picture and help the students. So if you subscribe for आपका ईमेल आईडी दे दीजिए, उसमें सब्सक्राइब करेंगे मैकेंजी के रिपोर्ट्स एंड गार्टनर रिपोर्ट्स. दे मस्ट बी सब्सक्राइब बाय. हम लोग बहुत सारे जर्नल्स टेक्निकल सब्सक्राइब करते हैं, हार्ड को रिसर्च होते हैं, बट दिस इज आईपीआर टू मनी. तो अगर आप आईपीआर क्रिएट कर रहे हैं तो उससे मनी क्रिएट करने का मैकेनिज्म दिमाग में रख के करोगे तो ज्यादा मीनिंगफुल रहेगा वो आईपीआर, व्हिच इज गोइंग टू बी मोर सोशली यूजफुल आउटपुट, व्हिच इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट एन इकोसिस्टम फॉर स्टार्टअप एवरीथिंग. So you must, with that intention, I have added this slide here. Grand challenges of engineering. अब यहाँ पर solution हमने खोजने. These are the 14 grand challenges we will take one by one. No need to write. I'll share this PPT with all the others and they will share with you. Better we interact with each other and let me understand whether I am reaching you or not. अभी जो हम इलेक्ट्रिक कार कह रहे हैं कि पॉल्यूशन, उसको बनाने के लिए जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लग रही है वो तो पॉल्यूशन से है. So instead of focusing on the efficiency, if you look at the photosynthesis, least efficiency, लेकिन फिर भी पूरी प्रकृति उसमें चल रही. So we can devise nanograms with very little efficiency, लेकिन बिल्डिंग को रंग लगाने के बाद, कमरों को रंग लगाने के बाद उतनी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वहीं के वहीं देते हैं. ऐसा रिसर्च कर. So we have to think from that perspective and create our labs accordingly. Focus our research, energy of fusion. अपने लैपटॉप की बैटरी में जितना लिथियम है, अगर तभी से फ्यूजन से अगर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बनाई जाए तो 15 साल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चल सकती है. So a lot of research is required. A lot of collaboration is required. No one. ये फ्यूजन का जो रिसर्च है वो तो ग्लोबली चल रहा है. अगर आप देखो, all countries are participating because it is a very big problem, and we from our side can contribute some humble way. This is also carbon dioxide absorption is a big problem. Let environmental engineering, civil engineers identify work, some mechanical engineer let them work, some sensing technology get into the picture, develop some software. So किसी एक के बस की बातें नहीं. And that is where we have to apply all the technologies which are available in the college. Same is the case of nitrogen cycle. If we add sensors and agri robots, agri sensors, we have a lot of solutions for us. Provision of clean water. This is one of the biggest missions. Water conservation and providing clean water. So many research about it, so many startup about it. Here you have to not only create that item, but you have to create a network or business model so that it reaches to the last person also. So it's not just technological innovation, it is business process engineering innovation, it is supply chain innovation, it is technological innovation. So these all are going to happen, and that can happen only if we have a startup ecosystem or mindset, duly complemented by educational institutions. Health informatics. यहाँ पर से कितने लोग ने कोविड एंजॉय किया? ऐसा मुट्ठी में गोली खाना होता था ना? और उसके इफेक्ट जो कोविड से बाहर आए अभी भी उनकी सेहत कोई बहुत ठिकाने की नहीं रहती, because world is requiring personalized admission and इतनी generalized admission दवाइयाँ दी है. मतलब हम छोटे थे तब हमारे यहाँ पर एक आरएमपी डॉक्टर थे, घर के नीचे उनका वो शॉप कह लीजिए क्लिनिक था. हम लोग ऐसे बैठे रहते थे सीढ़िया पे, वो डॉक्टर बुखार है, हो सकता है मलेरिया हो, पीली गोली खा, हो सकता है टाइफाइड हो, हरी गोली खा लो, हो सकता है फ्लू हो, काली गोली खा लो. अब ये क्या डायग्नोसिस हो? लेकिन अब because of sensors and with so much of big data, we are in a position to give personalized medicine. So let us work, let us collaborate with some medical institute. How many engineering colleges have collaboration with medical colleges? They are badly in need of your expertise. Otherwise, it's मुट्ठी में खाया मैंने भी. खाए की खा रहे, ठीक है, इसने खाया जिंदा रहे, ये खाएगा जिंदा रहे, खा ले. अब कैसे जिंदा रहने वो अपने को. So that's not the case. So world is moving here. It is required also. Even कितने short cycle time में vaccine निकला है. It was collaborative effort. मतलब Google also immensely contributed in that. उस सर्च से पता लग जाता था कि कहाँ पर लोग ज्यादा खांसी हो रही है, उसकी दवाई लेना सर्च करते थे. They used to geographically identify इधर अगला कोविड का भी खाने. So we as a technical institute should have at least one MOU with one medical college, but we are not having. Whereas there is a big opportunity for startup and business as well. This is also, is going to be the biggest challenge, and society has to address it. अभी चल रहा है यूक्रेन, जब तक चल रहा है क्या होगा किसी को पता. We have to have systems so that this can be prevented. In a word, engineer better medicines. It's not devising medicines. It's an engineering medicines. So we must look at this aspect. If at all we want to implement any multi-faculty, जरूरी नहीं कि मेडिकल कॉलेज आपके यहाँ हो, लेकिन मल्टी-फैकल्टी अप्रोच तो हम अडॉप्ट कर सकते. इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ हम आप खुले रखते हैं कि हम प्रॉब्लम को एम्पैथाइज करते हैं कि नहीं. Secure cyberspace. How many of you have seen? I keep on quoting movies and all. TCGN. There is a movie called TCGN. देखिए क्या मेरे ख्याल से अमेज़न पे या व्हाट्सएप पे है मराठी मूवी टेक केयर गुड नाइट PCGM see that to realize the impact of this. Two aspects are addressed in that. One is उसके अकाउंट में से 50 लाख निकल जाते हैं पेंशन PRS ले लेता है मेरे जैसा होता है अपने पास इतने लाख रुपए आराम से जिंदगी कट जाएगी या फिर दोनों यूरोप चले जाते हैं तो 50 लाख टैक्स को निकाल लेते और लड़की भी इससे उससे चैट करते रहती मिलने आता है लड़का एंड he creates some videos and more than he screwed up and how he comes out. So those are the challenges of it. So before you start your research in this area, see that you will why I am saying is that from that point onward you will empathize with the problem. Now you have not empathized with the problem, that is why you are very safe. Then once you empathize with the problem, you will create one good ME thesis or PhD thesis there, I guarantee. Restoration and improve urban infrastructure. सिर्फ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग का प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं रहेगा. This is a problem of behavioral sciences, civil engineering, structural engineering, mechanical engineering, computer sciences engineering, electronics, सब मिला के ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होगा. किसी एक से सॉल्व होना होता तो सिविल इंजीनियर ने सॉल्व कर दिया होता ये प्रॉब्लम. इतने बेहतरीन सिविल इंजीनियर दुनिया ने दिया तो उन्होंने ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं किया होता. ये उनके अकेले के बस का नहीं है. अकेले मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर के बस का नहीं. ये सब मिलके सॉल्व कर. So that is where again, you know, multidisciplinary, multi-faculty approach of anything you can read. Reverse engineering of the brain. Aeroplane जब शुरुआत में बने थे, तो we were trying to we have not understood the dynamics of flying birds. सिर्फ पंख देखते थे और पंख वाले ही बनाने की कोशिश की और सारे के सारे थोड़े दूर जाके गए. जब उसमें का एरोडायनामिक्स सीखे तब जाके सही एरोप्लेन बने. सो जनरल पर्पस एआई जो है वो तभी बनने वाला है जब आप ब्रेन का रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग करें. एंड दैट इज पॉसिबल टू सम एक्सटेंट ओनली थ्रू यू नो डेटा एंड wearable sensors. These two things. There's very one good book called must be read by all computer science engineers. Surveillance Capitalism. How through surveillance of data, sensors, people are creating money. Facebook is a good example. Google is another example. Instagram, all these are surveillance capitalism industries. They surveillance your behavior and accordingly push the advertisement and earn the money. They are the influencer. Otherwise, ऐसे ही Trump ने जीत गया election. Lot of big data analytics and through social media influencing the fence पे बैठ गए. So that is what is surveillance capitalism. Lot of business and research about it is available there. Virtual reality is another area. In the teaching also, whatever we cannot show them like this, we can create in virtual environment, simulated experiences can be given. Business are utilizing it. Education institution has to come out for this. Learning is also changing. The way I gave you example of data, same is the learning management systems. They are also learning, and through data analytics, you can better understand the student and help him. Our student can also derive their self-learning path. Before we end, what are the principles we should try to observe while doing research and creating startups. Maintain the spirit of inquiry. ते मला नको विचारू, इसके बजाय ते मलाच विचार. इतना mindset का फर्क, spirit of inquiry. Then healthy disrespect for impossible. What was impossible earlier, not necessarily going to be possible. So healthy disrespect for the world, impossible. Observe, reflect, then make, do, and change. How many of us really reflect? Very simple question we have to ask ourselves. So this someone, are we really reflecting on? Majority of us will give answer no. So if we are not reflecting, we are not in a position to empathize with the situation. If we are not empathizing with the situation, we are not part of the solution, we are the part of the problem. So this is very essential if we want to. And in new education policy, reflection पे बहुत ज़्यादा emphasis हमें देना होगा. That is where actual learning takes place. Synthesis of your learning takes place. Then insight, foresight, and insight तीनों का synergy चाहिए. या तो हम insight से ही देखते रहते हैं, या फिर insight हो जाते हैं, या foresight. But तीनों का synergy बहुत आवश्यक है. If at all you want to, succeed in research, IPR, startup, crowdsourcing, and collaborative working. Our problem is that we want to make everything from by our own, which is not necessary. You as a teacher, suppose you are good at writing, but not good at creating PowerPoint presentation, you share that write-up and ₹250 में world class presentation बना के freelancing sites आपको दे दें. लेकिन हम हमारी जिंदगी का बहुत कीमती समय वो presentation बना के और एक खराब presentation के साथ कर देते हैं. And world class content is lost. And that is where, you must understand. My one-liner suggestion, all of us is that, जैसे ही लड़का फर्स्ट ईयर में एडमिशन लेता है, उसको पहले साल ही फ्रीलांसिंग साइट पे रजिस्ट्रेशन कंपल्सरी. Let him identify the earning opportunities and let him start earning. और जितना वो अर्न करता है उतनी स्कॉलरशिप में उतनी फीस आप जितना डिस्काउंट देते हो ना वैसा फीस डिस्काउंट शुरू करो. क्योंकि वो जो है ना जब तक कि कोई दिखाते नहीं तब तक कोई करता नहीं. जितना आप फ्रीलांसिंग साइट से अर्न करोगे उतना आपको या उसके 50% आपको स्कॉलरशिप मिल जाएगी. You will see that lot of innovation will happen. And then internship वगैरह तो होती रहेगी जब होती रहेगी. कम्युनिकेशन स्किल क्या होता है? जब आप वहां पर साइट पर लोगों को अपना बिजनेस प्रपोजल कम्युनिकेट करोगे तभी नेगोशिएशन सीखोगे, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स सीखोगे, प्रेजेंटेशन, all skills. By the time of your out 4th year, you are ready because you have gone through all the business cycles and you have understood the pains of earning. Learning में से earn हटा दो तो क्या है? So अगर earning नहीं है तो learning है ही इसमें डाउन. As simple as that. This is what I mean by this bullet. Challenges mask opportunity that are yet to be unlocked. Let us believe in this. अगर कोई challenge है तो वही पर opportunity. SWOT analysis किस लिए करते हैं? For that, but we teach SWOT analysis, but not observe it, not practice it, not reflect it. As I said, brainware plus hardware is equal to constant. Avoid knowledge consumerism. Paper publish करते जाएंगे ठीक है for the sake of PhD, do it. But that is knowledge consumerism, nothing beyond. This is a very hard lesson I have learned in my life after doing PhD in 1997. Innovation is IPR. Sorry, invention is money to IPR. And educational institutes should also focus on this IPR to money. That will make sustainability of this IPR creation or innovation process. Otherwise, it will not be. आज grants आई, कल grants नहीं आई तो research बंद. That will not happen if you create IPR and innovation. And for sustainable development, Gandhi engineering. Otherwise, most of the time in businesses, more from less for more profit, ये business का principle. लेकिन अभी sustainability के issue आने के कारण, now organizations are thinking that more from less for more paper. If this happens, then there is a lot of business and learning opportunities for us. 3 core values of research and startup: experimentation, reflection, and incubation. If these 3 happens, then the higher education institutions will be able to marry effectively with tipping point technologies and challenges of society. These are some of the digital, because everything is getting digital. So madness of crowd, wisdom of crowd, crowdfunding, crowd designing, crowd innovating, crowd correcting. These are the aspects we have to observe. Then use AI as intelligent assistant. We are servant of right now AI. How many of you are using smartwatch? Yes. वो स्मार्टवॉच आज आप ज्यादा सोए, ज्यादा खाए, कम चले बताते हैं. हम उसके करेक्टिव एक्शंस ले रहे हैं क्या? तो वो स्मार्टवॉच नहीं है. बेचने वाला स्मार्ट है, पहनने वाला भी इतना स्मार्ट नहीं है, क्योंकि उसका स्मार्टली इस्तेमाल. पैसा खर्चा करते ना आप, किस लिए खर्चा किया था कि वो बताते हैं कितने घंटे सोए, नींद अच्छी हुई कि नहीं. आप नींद नहीं अच्छी से करना बाबा, तब तो थकेगा, तब तो नींद आएगी. So unless we use it as an intelligent assistant, otherwise फिर क्या वो smartness watch के लिए आप ठीक है. Watch is designed for you and you exploit it. Mobile is designed for you, exploit it. Now mobile is exploited. Almost everything is going the other way around. Digital well-being नाम का एक application mobile में होता है. How many of you have installed and set it? Well-being. वो बताता है कि आधा घंटा हो गया फेसबुक में बंद हो जाएगा, तो आप और 70 मिनट कर दो. वो देखते हैं. फिर क्या मतलब हुआ उसके well-being? There is very one wonderful book of Nandan Nilekani, Bitfulness. If you have read it, if not, please read it. Bitfulness. Blissfulness का bitfulness. So bitfulness to blissfulness. ऐसा वो किताब है. How? So against this. And if all those that we discussed, we sincerely mean it, then teachers will become teacher-trainers. Not as late as I began, but as early as you can. You may not require to be teacher-trainer for 57 years, which I did. So typically, here I end with my presentation. To create this presentation, whatever references I have made, these are the lists. Yeah. Any questions? I'm here. Yes. Finish. Save your time. Questions? Mike, I have them.
Where is the question?
No question. It's fine. You can reflect on it. You can reflect on it. There's my email ID and the mobile numbers. You can drop a mail or you can drop a WhatsApp to me. I being in the business, I strongly believe that any call is call from God, can generate business or at least one. So even if your number is unknown, I'm going to respond to it. If I'm in a meeting, I'll drop a message that I'll call you after some time. But I will be responding. So सवाल पूछना नहीं अच्छा लग रहा तो स्पिरिट ऑफ इंक्वायरी वाला बुलेट एक बार फिर से देखना
What makes you think that what I did for 15 years and you left your government?
you know there was a point I was in MSBT headquarters at the secretary curriculum development exam IT and evaluation also. So a lot many people used to report and come to me for the colleges. And साहेब बगा एक point के बाद मुझे ऐसा लगने लगा था कि मैं इंसान कम और साफ ज्यादा हूं. And that point I decided this is the point I should break this monotony. And three friends, we were very close friends, we were taking a lunch together. And some of my friends said that teaching में भी लोग सभी लोग इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं ऐसे मिल रहे हैं अपने कुछ स्टूडेंट मिलते हैं जो टीचिंग से इंडस्ट्री में गए तो you should try. That time I was PhD pretty young, so I said that I'm pretty young PhD. इसके पहले भी काफी colleges प्रिंसिपल करके आओ बोल रहे थे पैसा उस समय अच्छा भी मिलता था आज की जैसी थोड़ी टिपिकल सिनेरियो नहीं था. I said कि I will resign government job and I will go to industry and if I fail there I will come back to teaching and join some private engineering college as professor or principal and I learned the bread and butter. That's not. So that was the trigger point. I moved to corporate.
How do you help our students for their projects?
Right, I am offering strategic advisory and mentoring services to 6 IT startups. So I can help you to get connected with those startups and they can offer their problems to your students for solution for internship. Or I can suggest some of the startups to work from your campus only. If they work from here, sometime in your lab, those developers will roam around and tell the developing principles also. Sometimes some of them will mentor some of the students, so that can also happen. If you know
Very much needed, sir.
Huh?
We'll come back to you. That is very much needed.
So I can help them
Autonomous
because
college.
it is win-win situation.
Yes. As autonomous college.
This way I can, yes, in my humble way, try to connect two interested parties. That is what I can. Lagnas Rao Shakti was.